Right, on today's episode of Golf is Ruining My Life, I ask a big question. 9 holes, casual round of golf with beers on the golf course in the UK. Is it a crime?
Obviously, yes, it is. Also, we're making a very, very early first call on the Ryder Cup team. All that and more on the way.
It's Monday, it's a bank holiday in the UK, but that won't stop these little chimps delivering some golf content to you, will it? Heck no.
What was that?
I don't know. I was going to do a little swear, but then thought better of it because kids might listen. Welcome to Golf is Ruining My Life, Great Britain's second biggest golf podcast with me, Tom Green, and him, Tom Price.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Can I say a special hello? We got a wonderful email today. This isn't an email special, but I just want to say hello to someone called Toby Fryer. Can we just very quickly lead into this, Tom?
I love Toby's email. Hello, Toby. Yes, let's read Toby's email.
So Toby says, "Hi, I'm Toby. I'm 10. I am the host of the Mass podcast, Mad About Sports podcast. I'm a member at Stoke by Nayland. I've been playing golf for 4 years. I listen to your podcast weekly."
Thank you.
There are sometimes we need to cut out all the naughty words, Tom. Like, do you know what I mean? We can't have these kids
now
hearing the bad
hold
words.
on. This is only because I know what this email is. Do I know what you? Did you say how old Toby was, or did you miss that out
10.
with my brain going blank?
He's 10 years old.
He's 10.
10 years old.
The guy's 10 years old. We need to stop saying naughty words and stop talking about. Don't worry, Toby. Don't worry about page sporadic. It's unimportant. It's not important for you.
Yeah, it's fine. I listen to your podcast weekly. I love it. Will you please be a guest on my show? 100% in. I mean, assuming the fee is good, if it's a decent amount of money, then definitely.
Yeah, we have a 10 grand sort of just to get out of bed fee. But that's fine, Toby, right? You're loaded. You're a 10 and you're a member of a golf club. You're part of the 1%.
Of course, you're in the elite already. Toby, yes, email us again and we will happily do your show for free, obviously. So anyway, here we are. It is Bank Holiday Monday. I assume, Tom, I have an image in my head of people somewhat sneaking out of the house on that Bank Holiday Monday, sort of prizing themselves away from families, going on a little Easter egg hunt of their own. That's what, as golfers, we go on an Easter egg hunt every single time we play this sport.
Oh yeah, very nice. Just like Jesus, the golfers have arisen. Is that what happened on Monday? I'm a bit lost as to the religious sort of connotations.
He is risen is what that's the Sunday. That's like Easter Day, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think. I only know it because my brother is a massive Christian and his wife is in fact a vicar. And whenever we stay with them over Easter, on the morning of Easter Day, they all walk around the house going, "He is risen." So we all have to make jokes.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah.
I'm currently in the studio, and for the first time this year, we've gone through a lot in this podcast studio. We had the depths of January where you could actually see my breath if you watched the podcast episode online because it was so cold. And I'm in here now, and the sun is beating on the windows, and it is boiling, and it just feels like we are ready for golf season. I've got all the newbies, all my mates who only play golf literally in May, June, July, August, messaging me at the moment being like, "Back on the driving range, my back bloody hurts." Like all the newbies are coming out again. And Tom, it's led me to think that I want to change something in my golf game.
Well, listen, your golf game is already going in a very good direction. I'm feeling pretty cool about my game at the moment, but I think I know where you're going with this, but go on, you lead here.
So I've been playing golf now since I was 12 years old, right? And maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I did a bag fitting. So every club in the bag, but it was a little bit rushed. I didn't have much time and it was a little bit all over the place. And also my swing has changed so much from when I had that full bag fitting to where I am now. I did it maybe as a 14, 16 handicapper. I'm now, aforementioned, a 9 handicap.
Look at him go. Look at my baby.
I know. I feel smug about it. I'm just going to say it, Tom, right? I think it's time me and you got a full new bag of golf clubs.
Oh, I mean, it's been a couple of years and I agree because I feel like my swing has changed and I feel like there are certain clubs in my bag that I feel have become a bit defunct in the last couple of years. My 5-wood, I kind of don't really use that so much anymore. I am, all joking aside, looking at 7-woods thinking, when you're coming in that high, that's just delicious. A high shot, like a giant 9-iron from 200 yards. I look at that and think, I think I need that in my bag. I look at a couple of my irons and just think they need a bit of a zhuzh up because I feel like they don't fit me. They're not working for me in the right way anymore. And I want that, as you get better, you feel like you want that closer connection with what you're doing at the moment and what the club is offering. So yeah, I would love to get a full bag fitting. And if anyone out there wants to give us a full bag fitting, the Toms at golfersruiningmylife.co.uk. Is that too much
this
of
is what I mean.
ask?
When I started this sentence, I didn't really have anywhere to go with it. It wasn't, so we're going. It was more like, guys, the Toms at golfersruiningmylife.co.uk. One, have you done full bag fittings recently? Where did you go? What was the experience like? Where should we go? If there are any fitters, if there are any brands, club brands that want to have a conversation with us, I want to try new stuff, right? Because
yes.
I something sparked in my mind hitting those Mizuno blades a couple of weeks ago that, okay, they didn't go as far as my current irons, which are sort of like game improvement irons. But when you got it out the middle of the face, it just felt amazing. And I'm not saying I'm ready for blades because that's mad.
Are you going to go blades on me? Because I'd love to watch you sort of spend a whole season scrabbling around, peppering the rough.
Peppering the rough.
With your blades. I would, if you go blades, I'll go blades.
Okay. I don't know. There's nothing else to say on this other than I want to start a conversation, especially with you listeners, as have you been fitted this year so far? What was your experience like? Did you feel, I know when you go to some places, it can feel like they're pushing a certain brand on you. There's big manufacturers that I've been to in the past, those sort of, I'm not going to name names here, but you know the ones that you go to where there's loads of different types of club and you might feel they're incentivized to push a certain thing on you. How was your experience? Because I would like to start this season properly with a brand new set. I will say no more for now.
Why not? Let's just put it out there. I think, new clubs, but just also, it's not, I mean, obviously it's about getting new clubs because everyone loves getting new lumps of metal, but it's also about that sense of being properly fitted. I'm not sure I've ever been properly fitted because when you get properly fitted, they measure all sorts of things. And I've never had that full on experience. I've hit a few clubs and they've gone, yeah, that seems to work. Crack on. And I think it'd be nice to get a proper, but I want to be made to sweat in a laboratory somewhere, like some sort of golfing chimp. If any brands have got that, or if any brands want to help us out and help us play a little bit better, then we are all ears, quite frankly. The Toms at golfersruiningmylife.co.uk.
The only thing I would say, Tom, on that about getting sweaty in a room is when you go, word of advice as someone who did it like 4 years ago, whatever, do wear t-shirts and a polo. Don't wear layers. Don't wear things that you can't take off, because when I went, I was the sweatiest man in Great Britain.
Yeah, didn't you have a bit of a panic attack when you had your clubs fit a couple of years ago?
Yeah, that did happen. Yep. I'll tell that story very quickly. When I last got fitted, it was actually a really good fitting. It was with our friends at Scottsdale Golf. Really enjoyed it. The only thing that was a little bit stressful was because I did wedges, then irons, and then putter, and then driver last. By the time I got to the driver, I was so knackered that I couldn't put a proper swing on it. And he was like, yeah, I feel like you might be like regular flex driver. And I was like, I've not been regular flex in 12. I've not been regular flex. I'm not regular flex. All this sort of stuff. And I went and sat down and had a full fat Coke and a biscuit and came back and got a stiff shaft and we moved on.
I bet you got a stiff shaft. The problem I have with fittings, there it is. The problem I've had with fittings in the past is you mustn't tinker. And it really alerts me to the fact that when I swing the golf club, when I'm at my best, I'm not thinking about what I'm doing. And when I had fittings before, as I was doing the fitting, I was changing stuff up. Trying to turn that more. Come over there. No. Get yourself into that space where you're just swinging and it's muscle memory and you're just making sure you turn. Actually, talking of that, can I pivot towards the turn? My big turn breakthrough yesterday.
Oh, you played? Yeah, of course you did. Cool.
Yeah, of course I did.
I've not played properly in days and I can't. But okay, yeah, carry on.
It was just a little knockabout, and I realised that I just wasn't turning properly. It's incredible how certain things unlock everything. And I'm going back on backswing, and my back is sort of, to try and describe it to the audio listeners, like if the full turn, your back is facing the target, and then as you turn towards it, that's like 0. Hang on, how can I best describe this, Tom?
No, I'm actually following this, Tom. I can't see you.
Fine.
I'm just following this in my head. So your back's to the target on the way back.
That's 0. And then once you've swung through and finished it, your back is now pointing in the exact opposite direction. That's, let's say, 90, right?
Yep.
And then the back, when you're just standing straight over the ball, that's at 45. I reckon my full turn was at not much more than 45. I think my back is almost staying in the same position, and I'm just twisting my arms and my shoulders and maybe moving a little bit towards the target. And then yesterday I was like, relax, because tension is the enemy, and it's an unbelievably obvious thing to say, but my God, it makes a difference. Relax, feel everything go loose, and just turn that back and let everything else. And oh my God, Tom, some of the shots I hit, it's that thing of going, and I know all golfers, we all have this, that we see every now and again, our head pokes through the clouds and we see it and we see how good we could be. But that's often actually, that wording is important. We often poke our heads through the clouds and go, I've no idea what just happened, but I've hit a shot as good as a pro. And what I love about this show is that when we think about it and talk about it and communicate and email us about it, you can work out what it was that made that happen. And you cling on to that and suddenly you can really start to move.
But it only takes a couple of sort of errant tee shots and all those thoughts go out the window and you start panicking. Because I've had it recently where my big thing was slow down. And gradually that noise in my head has gone away and has gone. And I know if I say the word sway here, people are going to go absolutely wild in the comments because we've had this recently where I say my swing thought at the moment is sway. And I don't mean sway, but that idea of shifting your weight onto your right foot and then pushing it onto the left, that feeling of movement of weight through your body has been really important for me and has changed massively my iron strike.
But a sway is bad, isn't it? But you're not really. This is more of a sway vibe rather than actually doing a massive whoop.
That's what I want to be clear on here. It's a sway vibe. It's in the same way that if you want to hit a draw, you have to really over-exaggerate the feeling in your head. But if you ever to watch a video back of yourself actually doing that in motion, the changes are minuscule. But you have to think, oh God, I'm going to push it all the way out here to try and hit a draw. I have to think I'm swaying, but I'm not really. I've seen videos of myself. I'm not swaying. I'm just sending my weight onto my right foot and then bringing it onto the left. But by doing that, that space in my brain, which is there for golf swing advice, weight movement replaced swing slow. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I'm swinging faster again. Like it's the rounds that go well. There's just it's spinning plates, isn't it? It's all just happening at the same time, but it will only take a brief gust of wind and then all the plates fall over.
It's so delicate. And the only way to make it less delicate is by doing it again and again and again. And that's why we have to go and play golf on Easter Monday and not hang out with our mother-in-law.
Yes! Good work. I saw a take online as well by one of the guys that work with Peter Finch on his podcast, which is a great golf podcast. And I wanted to bring it to this show because I thought it was really interesting. And I don't necessarily disagree with what he said. Okay. So let's look at the Ryder Cup team. A lot of really obvious ones in there. Rory, obviously. Victor Hovland, obviously. Justin Rose, probably, obviously, now. Bob McIntyre, though, didn't play well in the Masters. You know, currently the holder of the Genesis Scottish Open title, so he'll be there. And then you make your way to Jon Rahm.
Oh, the Rahm question.
And you go, is there a question mark over Rahm? I personally don't think so, but I think you could make a convincing argument that he's not a definite anymore.
But there is a built-in acknowledgement of the fact that some players can be having a bad season or a bad couple of seasons and still step up to match play at the Ryder Cup. That because they have picks. Captains have captains' picks. And that acknowledges that in that format, captains just want to go, look, Jon Rahm or whoever, the Americans a couple of years ago, Justin Thomas, who was having a terrible time, but he still got the pick controversially. Yeah. He is still class. And the pick, for example, Oberg, was an incredible, bold pick by Luke Donald last time. And my God, did that pay off. Look at Oberg. I mean,
he's an obvious one, is it? He's going to be there.
Well, he's now, but he'll be there. But he wasn't there at all. People were like, what? And what I loved about Oberg playing in the last Ryder Cup was everyone went, what? Has Luke Donald just got a crush on Oberg? And of course, everyone's got a crush on Oberg. I've got a framed photo of him behind me. If you're watching on YouTube, he's right there. But everyone then watched him do one swing and went, oh yeah, he should definitely be in the team. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, I just saw that and I was like, that is really interesting because I never would have said a few years ago there would be any question marks over Jon Rahm. But then you see how he played. He sprayed it a little bit at the Masters. I on this show pre-Masters was saying he's your dark horse. He's the one. He's going to come out hot. He's going to play great because he has.
But where did he come? He wasn't that far out, was he?
No, he wasn't that far out. But he had a few blow-ups on the Thursday and Friday. I picked him in the little predictor group I'm in for the majors. I picked him as one of my picks, one of my 3 picks, as who was going to do well. I swapped him out on Thursday because he performed so badly. And I just never would have seen that happening because, again, he'd performed well on Live. Once again saying that the translations between Live and the PGA and Live and Majors isn't quite as clear cut as you think it was. First time dropping out the top 1,000, Phil Mickelson.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, that is an age thing, really. But I think that, there is a big question to be asked: which player has been most damaged by moving to Live? Lots of players have thrived doing the Live thing. Look at Bryson. The guy's the definition of having the best time of his life in his career, and good on him. All power to him. But some players have been adversely affected. Or maybe you might say, well, they're just not playing as well. It's nothing to do with Live. Really? I would look at Rahm and go, I think, what trajectory would Rahm be on had he stayed on PGA? Now, I know he had private personal issues going on last season, so I don't want to get into any of that. Just golfing-wise, I put it to you that someone like Rahm would be on a much better path if he'd stayed on PGA.
Yeah, you could probably... Brooksy as well. Koepka. He was having a hard time on PGA, wasn't he? He was having he wasn't happy. A bit of a hard time.
He's always having a hard time. But he was, and then it rejuvenated him a bit going over to Live, and he obviously came and won majors. So Brooksy is one of the greats.
Yeah,
Brooks is one of the greats, man. Interestingly, am I right in saying this? I might be wrong. And by the way, we need to stop for some lovely products in a second.
Oh, yeah, more products, please.
I think Brooksy's won 6, is it 5 or 6 majors? I think Rory winning the Masters may have taken him on a level playing field to Brooksy. I think. I may have made that up, and apologies if I have.
Again, we love a golfer's read of my life half-remembered stat. But
what we'll do, go to ads, then I'll find out.
Okay, I've also got a great half-remembered stat that I will bring to the show after these adverts as well. Stay there.
Hello, welcome back to part 2 of Golfer's Dream of My Life. While you've been bathing in delicious products, Tom and I have actually been doing some research and not just being a pair of chimps with microphones, to quote most of the comments on TikTok. Hello to you.
Yes.
So, I said Brooks Koepka. I was right. So, Koepka has won 5 major tournaments. So, and I remember thinking that's really unfair. I love Brooksy, don't get me wrong, but I remember thinking that's so unjust that Rory, the best player of his generation, has won less than Brooksy. So that for me that's a great moment for Rory as well. Obviously, the Grand Slam's the thing here, but that takes Rory to 5.
Now, it really felt like going into the Masters, and I know we need to move on from the Masters, but it does feel like everyone's still talking about it. The big story that everyone was talking about was, would Rory do the Grand Slam? Can he do it, right?
Yeah.
My question mark to you is, going into the PGA Championship, another golfer will have that story to complete. Can you tell me which golfer that is?
Oh, that's a great question. Who is the next? Where is the monkey on Rory's back going to go next?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you where it's going to go, but it doesn't feel like this player has the pressure that Rory did, which is mad. There is a chance that another player can do the Grand Slam this year, and that will make them, the 7th person in history to have the Grand Slam?
Oh, Scottie?
Nope.
Isn't Scottie lined up for the? Isn't he lined up for the Grand Slam?
Has Scottie won the PGA?
Okay. Who else is it then? Who's next in line for the Grand Slam?
Let me tell you.
Let
me tell you. The next person who could potentially do it is Jordan Spieth.
Oh, it's not going to happen.
He's won the Masters in 2015. He won the US Open in 2015, and he won the Open Championship in 2017. The best he's done at the PGA is 2015, where he came 2nd. So could this be his year? But he doesn't feel like he has all that pressure on him that Rory had at the Masters. There's not as many demons there.
You're right. The monkey is moving over towards Spieth. Now you say that. But equally, I think this shows the reason that the monkey was on Rory's back so much is how, and no offence to Jordan Spieth, but probably a little bit of offence to Jordan Spieth, Rory's been so good. Rory has been there or thereabouts for a long time, and Rory has been doing things that other golfers can only dream of doing for a decade. The whole decade he's been looking for that Grand Slam. Spieth, being brutally honest, he's fallen off a cliff in terms of what he's done. He's won a few bits and bobs, but he's nowhere. When he came out, he was like, oh my God.
They all do this, though. They all do this.
Well, they do.
Come out.
Yeah,
Jon Rahm comes out. He's going to be the best player in the world. He's on fire. No one will ever beat him. Scottie Scheffler comes out. He's the best player in the world. No one's ever going to beat him.
I would say Scottie's the exception. I would say Scottie is the exception. He has sustained and will keep winning majors. There's no doubt. But if you said to me, is Spieth going to win another major? I'd say probably not, no.
But we sat here last year, and there was calendar Grand Slam flying around. People were saying, Scottie Scheffler, calendar Grand Slam. He won the Players and then he won the Masters. This is what I'm going to pick up on his major wins. He's only won 2 majors, 2 of which are the Masters. So he's nowhere near a Grand Slam. He's got the other 3 to win. He's done well in them, coming 2nd in the PGA and 2nd in the US Open and 7th in the Open Championship. But
Hang on, Scottie's won a... Has Scottie ever won a major apart from the Masters?
No, he's only won the Masters twice.
Sure?
Sure, 100%. Scottie Scheffler has only won 2 majors.
The ball is in your court, Scottie Scheffler. That's really interesting. I totally thought... See, I would put the ball in his court a lot more than Jordan Spieth because of expectation and because of how incredibly good he is. Or is he going to be another Spieth? That is really, really interesting.
Yeah. So, God, we're going to get destroyed in the comments for this because our knowledge should be better here. But last year, I guess he would have won the Players, and did he win the Waste Management as well?
Something like that. He won loads. He won
loads at the start of the year, and that's when everyone got excited. And then he went on to win the Masters, and that made everyone lose their mind because they were like, here we go, it's the time. And then it never really happened.
Oh, this is really nice. Do you know what? This is quite a balm to my post-Masters soul, Tom, because I am always miserable on the Monday after the Masters because it's my favourite golfing event of the year, my favourite sporting event of the year. And this year I feel like there's just the more we get into this, the more I think, the story of this golfing season is only just getting started. All the stuff that is still to come is only just getting started. That's a brilliant plot line. Can Scottie, break out and win other majors? Can Schauffele punch through again? Can Rahm prove to us that he wasn't a flash in the pan? I think that's it, isn't it? Golfers who prove they're not a flash in the pan. And I'm afraid Spieth, for me at the moment, is a very incredible, brilliant, of course, but he's a bit of a flash in the pan when it comes to winning majors.
Yeah. Anyway, enough professional golf for a Monday.
Yes. Can I tell you something quite the opposite about professional golf? The exact opposite of professional golf.
Yes.
And indeed professional podcasting. My 2 sons today recorded a golf podcast. I am not going to be playing you any of it. Don't panic. I just thought you'd appreciate the title that they come up with for their golf podcast. If anyone has got any little people in their life, you'll appreciate what an excellent pun this was. They have started a golf podcast because they've been watching us, Tom, and frankly, they want in.
They want in. They want some of that big pod money.
Exactly. They recorded their first ever episode today of Paw Patrol.
Now, I think that's absolutely genius. When you told me this, I thought that's absolutely incredible because I don't have kids, but even the pun work on Paw Patrol lands with me, a 30-year-old man with no kids. And I thought, that's good comedy.
Isn't it just? And let me tell you, the episode does not deliver to the same standards as the pun. having just edited 20 minutes of my kids going, yeah, lovely, I hit a 9-9, lovely. But anyway, if you want to listen to that, do let me know and I can send you a private link. Probably a bit weird. So anyway, that's underway, Tom. We have competition. That's all I'm going to say. We have competition.
Yeah. So are you playing this weekend? Are you going to get out there? Because I've started getting the emails from my golf club as well. Like we had our first, what is it? I want to call it the Eclectic. Is it the Eclectic? That's what it is at golf clubs?
Yeah.
First Eclectic last Thursday. Someone won with 38 points and that lit a fire in my soul because I was like, who could get 38 points? This
Tom
chump.
Green.
This guy's got that in the locker.
Well, what are you off now at the moment though?
Thanks for asking. 9.7, which before anyone asks actually, because we did a big thing on the show being like, single figures. And we got a lot of emails from people going, you round up, you're off 10. And I'm not happy with that. I'm not happy with that at all. Because I know on my next round, I'm never going to shoot 8 over and I'm definitely going to go back up. So let me just live my dream for a bit, lads.
Oh, mate. Are you playing this weekend then? Because we've got, now, I don't know how much we can say at the moment. There's some emerging plot lines. Tom and I are going to be playing together quite soon. And I can reveal that, can't I, Tom? I can reveal we've got something happening.
Yeah, we're not going to say what we're going to do because we want to save
announce
that.
it.
We want to announce it properly. But there are, Tom is right. You're going to have the thing that everyone's been asking for. Yeah. It's coming, and it's coming a lot this summer. He's risen.
Yes. Yeah, indeed. We can't have that as our catchphrase. No. The church have already got it. They've trademarked that one. So I am really trying to play as much as I can and get out there. And you know what I'm practicing this year? And you could probably find last year's episode and find it verbatim. I'm practicing, obviously, physical golf stuff, but just the feeling of being out there, of being patient. That's what I'm really going for this year. I've talked a lot in the past about my anger management. I do have anger problems on the golf course, and I'm happy to talk about that because we all should. Yeah, I do, genuinely, actually. It is just a golf course. I'm not an angry person, particularly in real life. Just golf really does ruin my life.
What's that time you hit me?
I have thought on, and I think a big part of my problem with golf is impatience. I've got ADHD. I just want to move on to the next thing. I'm super top speed all the time. When I'm playing by myself, I just bounce along and I play really well. And so I'm trying to learn that art of just going. And watching Rory at the Masters was really interesting because he had to wait a lot and it screwed him up with Battier on the first day. that art of just sitting back and going, stop thinking, Tom, because you've got a while till you're playing your next shot because these guys are going to take a while. Don't you think? We never talk about patience on this show.
I loved playing the other day and having someone chatting to me. So I don't know if you would find that beneficial. I really enjoyed it when I had my 8 over. Thanks for asking. I loved having Neil with me because we just spoke about anything other than what was going on that golf course. We were just chatting about Friday night and what you have for dinner, a few beers, blah blah blah. What's your weekend like? And that was just such a nice distraction from what was going on the golf course.
Yeah, but I can get too distracted then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a bit counterintuitive to what you're saying because you say you play better on your own, whereas I don't think I do. I think I also like to show off.
Yeah, no, I mean, me too. Obviously, I love showing off, but I do play better by myself because, I mean, I probably feel like I play better by myself because obviously I'm never putting a card in. And if I hit a bad shot, I do just forget about it and chuck a ball down and hit another ball. So at the end, I'll say I played really well. And I won't actually think about the fact that on 3 occasions, were I playing normally, I'd have had to follow that ball into the trees or I'd have had to follow that ball into the bunker because I don't when I'm playing by myself often. But I feel like I do like playing by myself. Finding the right tone and conversation, finding that person who just, you bod along at the same sort of pace and you have that easy chat where you're not too immersed in it because any second now you're going to leave the chat and try and get fully immersed into the golf. And you've got to find that balance, haven't you, of being interested but not too interested. It's such a difficult, it's like tuning a radio. You've just got to find that right little frequency.
Yeah, and I also play my best when it's just me and someone else doing a card together. I don't love the whole going out there and having a match play, like a casual match play.
Oh,
I think it gets in the way of the whole thing. Because I play a lot. Like M's dad, right? I play with him all the time. And he loves a one-on-one match play. And I sometimes think it gets in the way of the enjoyment of the round of golf because you get to a point where you're like, I'm going to lose here. Or like, I'm going to try and win. And you're not really playing... You're playing the man, aren't you, at that stage? You're not actually playing the course. And I don't know. I like jeering up the person you're with and being like, come on, get that putt. Do you know what I mean?
Totally.
I want it like that.
One of my favourite formats, I'm not sure I've ever run this past you, Tom. One of my favourite formats that John and I came up with last season was, right, we're going to play 9 holes together. I love playing with John. Very quick, great swing. Big Liverpool fan, so we just talk about Liverpool. Sure. And one of the formats John and I came up with was, let's try and score... What can we score if we put our best scores between the two of us, whatever it's called, better ball or whatever, over 9 holes? So let's go, right, okay, I reckon between the two of us, we can shoot 2 under. And then you're geeing each other on. It's really good fun. You're playing together. And it's like a team thing going on. And it was great. We did it a lot. It really works.
So on this, are you still playing your own ball? So you're playing your own hole, but it's just whichever score goes down on the card?
Yeah, so you play your own hole and you do 9 holes, and at the end you go, right, let's put our best scores in and go. And then you keep track as you go, and we're like, oh, we're 3 under now, or we're 2 over or whatever. It's a really nice way of playing. And I'm not competitive with other people much. If I get in a tournament, I like match play because that's what it is. But when I'm playing casually, I want to put, even if it's not going in, I want to have a sort of card in my head of how I'm doing. I don't really want to be doing match play. I played a 4-ball the other day, and the other 2 guys were desperate for us to do a comp. So as soon as we started, they were in a comp, and they were doing that thing of pretending not to be competitive, and they were competitive.
Right,
you could tell. When people suddenly start talking in a really chirpy, happy way, just after you've hit a bad shot, and you're like, yeah, because you're in a good mood because you're going to win this hole. And I'm like, oh, I hate that. Not for a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, I'm just trying to have a laugh. I'm just trying to have a laugh, lads. Chill out.
Yeah.
On this, I think you'll really enjoy what I'm doing next Saturday, Tom.
Go on.
So this is the day before that we go and start.
Something might be happening. Don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Coming to the show soon. So my friend Ecky's coming down to Hertfordshire, and he's a big golfer, loves his golf, plays off probably 22, 18, but has gone from nothing, never picking up a golf club, to falling in love with it, watches all of Bob Does Sports, is obsessed by it. He's brilliant.
Fantastic.
He's going to come down. We're going to have 18 holes carded together around the golf course. Then we're going to have a little bit of late lunch.
And you're not going around again?
We're going to jump on the course again. And
stop it.
Get on this. We're going to chuck a couple of beers in the bag, maybe even take a buggy, and we're going to do it. And I don't know the name of this format, so sorry about this, but it's the format that they do on Bob Does Sports all the time. So everyone drives, you go to the best ball, everyone goes from there, you go to the best one, you go from there, and we're just going to try and see how low we can go over 9, 14, whatever, and see if we can par or birdie every hole.
I mean, that's just the absolute dream. And it's perfect preparation for what we're doing on the Sunday. So I am playing this Saturday with my nephew Finn, who has only very recently started. Similar story, actually, to Eki by the sounds of things. Finn he's been going about a year, maybe 2 years, and he has gone from 0 to totally obsessed, Tom. He texted me today. I'm so proud of him. He texted me today saying, meant to be working from home today. Got a tea time booked for 2:00.
Yeah,
I was like, Finn.
Well done.
Your career and your personal life is going to stall thanks to golf. Thank you, golf.
But what it will do, golf, is it will give you early Saturday tea times, which does mean you can't go to the pub so much. And I think that's a healthy thing. In a way,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
The pub's healthy. But I want to pick you up on actually something that I just said, because I wonder if you disagree with it, because I bet you do.
Go on.
Having beers on a casual Saturday afternoon round of golf in the UK, thoughts?
Oh, listen, what you've just described, I will 100% do. You play 18-hole cards is quite serious, have some food, and have beers and go out on the buggy. 100%. The thing I'm not into, and I think a lot of our guys, I think you're like this as well, is when you go on a Portugal tour or it's a big trip and people are having beers on the course. That's just like, I get it, and I understand why people want to do that, but in my head, and I know it's silly, but in my head, I'm kind of qualifying for the Open here, so you just need to let me take my game probably too seriously. I know it's silly, and I know I'm not that good, but in my head, please let me indulge that, because that's what I think, for me, golf is all about. It's this pursuit of a weird internal professional career that is never going to happen in the outside world, but internally, we're all on that path, and that makes it magical for me.
Yeah, I totally agree. As long as everyone's on the same page with what you're doing, that's why we've got the 18 in the morning to actually try and play some proper golf, go low, bit of lunch, few beers, couple of beers while you're out there. Love it, amazing, in the sun, superb. And we're now here. This is where we are in the UK. The summer season is now here. You can start doing all that.
Are we at time? I feel like we're done.
I feel like we've done today's episode. So, can we just jump back to the start? Because I really want to hammer that point, Tom.
What, the 10-year-olds shouldn't be looking up Paige? What's her name?
That's definitely true. I think it was Toby. Paige Brannick isn't for you.
Toby?
Stay away.
Yeah. Don't worry about it.
But two, really am interested in trying some new golf clubs, because I want to...
I see that point. Yeah, yes.
Guys, the Toms at Golf is ruinmylife.co.uk, especially if you have been fitted recently. Would love to know your experiences, what you're playing. If you've got anything new in the bag that we should try, would love to hear about it, because...
If this works... I will. Do you know what? I better get some new socks, because the ones I'm wearing right now are going to be blown off. So let's see what happens. The Toms at golfersruiningmylife.co.uk. Also, this Thursday, we'll be doing email specials. So get in touch with us if you want to win £50 to spend at Golf Bidder. And maybe this Thursday we might reveal a little bit more about what's going on. Is that? Am I allowed to say that?
Are
we?
Yep.
I think we should.
Yeah, we can. Well, maybe just lay it all out. What's going on?
Oh my God, in that case, this Thursday is a must listen. This Thursday is an absolute must listen.
Okay, we'll see you there. The Toms at golfersruiningmylife.co.uk. If you're on Spotify, go and give us a 5-star review. We are pushing to 1,000 reviews, which is really important. And if you're not watching us on YouTube, head over to YouTube. We want the road to 10,000 subscribers, so get us there if you can. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you same time next time for more Tepid Takes.
Lots of love. Bye now.